We thought it was just a camping trip until the bear came. Four friends sat around a table in a crowded cafe, tired of their daily routines and craving an adventure. Ethan Parker was the one who came up with the idea. "We should go camping," he said. "No phones, no work, no city noise. Just us and nature." Jake Miller immediately agreed. Ryan Carter and Lucas Brooks were on board too. But as plans developed, two more friends decided to join them: Noah Walker and Tyler Reed. 6 friends. 1 weekend. 1 remote forest. What could possibly go wrong? 3 days later, they packed their gear into 2 SUVs and drove for hours toward Blackwood Forest, a vast wilderness known for its breathtaking scenery and endless hiking trails. The deeper they drove, the fewer cars they saw. Soon, paved roads became dirt roads. Then dirt roads became narrow trails. Eventually, they reached a small clearing surrounded by towering pine trees. The place was beautiful. Sunlight filtered through the branches overhead. A cool breeze carried the scent of pine and damp earth. It felt untouched by civilization. Exactly what they wanted. The group spent the afternoon setting up camp. Jake struggled with his tent and accidentally collapsed it twice, making everyone laugh. Tyler attempted to start a fire and nearly burned one of his gloves. Noah kept filming everything with his camera, promising he would turn the trip into an unforgettable video. By evening, the campsite looked perfect. A campfire crackled in the center. Sleeping tents formed a circle around it. For a while, everything felt peaceful. As darkness settled over the forest, they sat around the fire sharing stories. The flames danced across their faces. The sounds of the forest surrounded them. Crickets chirped. Owls called in the distance. Branches creaked in the wind. Then Noah decided to tell a story. "I read something about this forest before we came here," he said. Lucas rolled his eyes. "Here we go." Noah smiled. "Apparently, hikers have reported strange encounters out here for years." Ryan laughed. "Like ghosts?"
No.
"What then?" Noah stared into the fire. "Bears." Everyone laughed. "Bears," Jake said. "That's your scary story?" "I'm serious." "Come on," Tyler said. "It's a forest. Of course there are bears." Noah shook his head. "Not normal bears." The group laughed even harder. But Ethan noticed something. The forest had suddenly become very quiet. The crickets had stopped. The wind had stopped. Even the owls had gone silent. A strange feeling settled over him, like they were being watched. He glanced toward the darkness beyond the firelight. Nothing. Just trees. Endless trees. Still, he couldn't shake the feeling. That night, Ethan woke suddenly. His eyes opened. Something had disturbed him. At first, he wasn't sure what. Then he heard it.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Slow footsteps. Outside his tent. He held his breath. The footsteps circled the campsite, then stopped. For several seconds, there was complete silence. Ethan slowly reached for the zipper. Before he could open it, a loud growl echoed through the darkness.
Deep.
Powerful.
Close.
His heart nearly stopped. The growl was followed by heavy footsteps moving away into the woods. Ethan stayed frozen until sunrise. The next morning, he told everyone what he had heard. Most of them weren't convinced. "It was probably a deer," Tyler said. "Deer don't growl," Ethan replied. Jake laughed. "You watch too many survival shows." The conversation ended when Lucas noticed something near the edge of camp. Huge footprints. Everyone gathered around. The tracks were massive. Far larger than any dog. Far larger than any wolf.
A bear.
And not a small one. The mood immediately changed. For the first time, nobody was laughing. "We should probably leave," Ethan suggested. But Noah disagreed. "We drove all this way." Ryan nodded. "We'll be fine." Reluctantly, the group stayed. Later that afternoon, they went hiking. The deeper they traveled into the forest, the stranger things became. They discovered claw marks carved deep into tree trunks. Some marks were higher than Noah's head. Whatever made them was enormous. Then they found the remains of a deer. The carcass looked fresh.
Partially eaten.
Everyone went silent. The forest suddenly felt much less welcoming. By evening, dark clouds rolled across the sky. Rain began falling. The group hurried back to camp. Lightning flashed overhead. Thunder shook the ground. The storm trapped them inside their tents. Hours passed. Then came another sound.
A roar.
Not thunder. Not wind. A roar. Every person in camp heard it. And every person knew exactly what it was.
A bear.
A very large bear. The roar came again. Closer. Then something crashed into the campsite. Metal cookware scattered. Coolers overturned. Food containers burst open. Inside their tents, the friends listened in horror. The sounds continued for nearly 15 minutes. Then suddenly stopped. Morning finally arrived. Nobody had slept. When they stepped outside, the campsite was destroyed. Food was everywhere. Backpacks were torn apart. Deep paw prints covered the mud. Tyler stared at the ground. Oh my God. The tracks looked even bigger than before. The bear had visited them. And it wasn't afraid. Panic spread through the group. We're leaving, Ethan said firmly. Nobody argued. They packed as quickly as possible. But before they could finish, a scream shattered the silence. Jake pointed toward the tree line. Everyone turned and saw it. A massive bear standing between the trees. Its dark fur glistened in the morning light. Its shoulders looked almost as high as Noah's chest. The animal stared directly at them. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then the bear stepped forward. 1 step. 2 steps. 3. The group backed away. Suddenly, Tyler dropped a metal cooking pan. The loud clang echoed through the forest. The bear exploded into motion.
It charged.
The friends ran. Pure terror took over. They scattered in every direction. Branches whipped across their faces. Roots grabbed at their feet. The ground seemed determined to trip them. Behind them came the sound of crashing trees and thunderous footsteps. The bear was fast. Far faster than any of them expected. Lucas tripped first. He slammed into the ground. Ryan turned back to help him. Together they scrambled to their feet and continued running. Nearby, Noah climbed onto a large boulder. Jake climbed after him. Ethan and Tyler sprinted toward a steep hillside. For several terrifying minutes, chaos ruled the forest. Then something incredible happened. The bear stopped. It stood in a clearing, watching, as if deciding who to follow. The friends remained hidden, barely breathing. Finally, after what felt like hours, the animal turned and disappeared into the trees. Nobody moved. Not for a long time. Eventually, they regrouped near the vehicles. Covered in mud.
Exhausted.
Shaking. None of them looked the same. The fun camping trip they had imagined was gone. In its place was something they would never forget. They loaded their gear without speaking. Then they drove away from Blackwood Forest as fast as they could. Years later, the friends still met occasionally. Whenever someone mentioned camping, the room would fall silent.
No one wanted to talk about Blackwood.
No one wanted to remember the sound of those footsteps circling their tents in the darkness. And no one wanted to think about the enormous creature that had watched them from the trees. Because some adventures become memories. Some become stories. And some become warnings. The 6 friends entered Blackwood Forest looking for excitement. What they found instead was a lesson they would carry for the rest of their lives. Nature doesn't belong to us. And sometimes, deep in the wilderness, you are not the hunter. You are the one being watched. If you want to see more stories like this one, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.